Bought NZDUSD last night, and in this video I'm going to be showing you where I bought and the next best place for you to get into the trade, because I believe the buying opportunity is still very much on. NZDUSD simply stands for New Zealand dollar paired against the US dollar. I'm currently on the monthly time frame, and as is customary, I try to do my analysis by working my way from the higher time frame down to the much lower time frame where we can start looking for entries. On this time frame, I try to get my major key zones by way of those horizontal bars that you're seeing here. Major key zones are simply my major resistance and support areas. And then the next thing I do will be to get my directional bias. By that, I mean, where do I think the market is heading currently? So if we look at the general overview of NZDUSD, we can see that it's giving us a downward movement. So we have like a bearish overall trend. So we can see that the market gave us a low, lower high, lower low, a lower high, came back to give us a lower low, a lower high, but failed to give us a new lower low. And since then, if I'm to zoom in, the market has been moving sideways like a lot of USD pairs. The market has been moving sideways, not for few hours, not for few days, but this sideways movement has been on for the last 20 months. So that means for almost 2 years, NZD has been moving sideways. And when we have sideways movement of the market between a particular support level and a resistance level, then we say that the market is what? Ranging. So let me zoom in even more. You can see that the market has been moving between this resistance level and this what? Support level. So we say that the market has been in a range for a very long time. Now, how do we get our directional bias in this case? Now, for a ranging market, we say that we buy always from the support and we sell from the resistance. So for us to correctly get our directional bias, we have to look in on the chart and see where price is currently at. Is it at the resistance area or is it at the support level? So currently we can see that the market moved from this level up here, down here, back up here, and it is currently down here. And we can see that buyers are currently in the market. In other words, the market came down last month. So this candle represents the month of June. We're currently in the month of July. So this first trading week has seen buyers coming into the market. So that means by reason of this, my directional bias will be what? Bullish. Why? Because we expect that since the market has been involved in moving from the resistance to support and back to resistance, now the movement will be expected for it to go from the support level upwards to the resistance level. So having established my major key zones and the minor zones being the support and resistance level, and I've been able to establish that my directional bias will be what? Bullish, even though that for the longest of time those markets seem to have been trending downwards. So quickly we'll go to the weekly time frame to see what we can find. And of course, on the weekly time frame, we can see that it buttresses our points from the monthly time frame, or I'll take from the monthly time frame even more. So let me zoom in again. You can now see that the um the range becomes what? Much clearer. How do I mean? Let me take this out. So we can see that the market came in here, came back to this resistance area, back to support, resistance, currently at support level. And we can see, excuse me, for the past 2 weeks that price is currently heading upwards. So if I take this out, we can see that this is what the market structure looks like. So we can now confidently say that yes, we can try to look for buying opportunities. So the question would now be, how do we do this? If we look at this part of the chart, which is now the most important part of the chart that we're dealing with, price has been coming down. So let's go to the daily time frame to see what's happening. If it's time for us to start looking for what? Those buying opportunities. So let's give us this higher, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, and we can see that there's a little bit of a change in structure or character, as some people would call it. So this is what we currently have. And like I said, I got in on this trade last night, and I'm currently making good profit. So, and just like I promised, I'll be showing us where we could also get in as well. So let's go down further to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that there's a major change in character here, and the structure of the market seems to have changed. So one of the ways in which I like getting in on the market is by using what I call the counter trend line. So if you place this here, you can see that this counter trend line, which is like a trend line against the trend we're looking at. So this other trend line here will guide us in the upward direction because we're looking for what? Buying opportunities. So now this trend line has been taken out and retested. So if I zoom in more for us to see, this was where I got into the trade last night, this level, because I saw this double bottom here. So with this double bottom, I saw this double bottom here, and I waited for the neckline of the bottom to be taken out. Price closed above it, and then once there was this retracement, so I got in on this trade here. My stop loss underneath this level, about 21 pips, and I'll be holding this trade for as long as possible. For those that know how I trade, I swing trade. So I got in on this trade when this retracement happened. So the question is, how would this analysis now benefit those of us that will be seeing this video, because I already got in on this trade? So what I'll be doing would be, if I would be adding more positions, would be to wait for price to give us reasonable pullback. A perfect scenario would be coming to give us another touch of this trend line, and then you too can get in on this trade. So let's see if we can even refine this further. If we go to the 1-hour time frame, so like I said, I got in as a result of this double bottom that I saw here, and then I waited for a retracement. I knew that the top of it would be used as a liquidity, and so immediately I was able to see this bullish engulfing candle. Let me zoom in. This bullish engulfing candle. So there's a retracement into the engulfing, and then I took my trade right here. And like I said, I'm currently in profit. And for those of us that will be seeing this video, will be watching this video, the best way to get in on it, because I believe the trade will be going as much as possible to come to this resistance level. So for now, my take profit is about 150 pips around this level. So I'll be holding this trade, but even though I'll be holding the trade, I'll be expecting like a pullback. And if the pullback comes again to this trend line, I'll be adding more positions. So if you are able to come across this video before this happens, then you can watch it closely to see how you can take advantage of it. You can as well compare this with your own analysis and see if was looking at the same thing. This is Oba FX Trading Academy, where we teach people and help people to better their trading ability and shorten their trading journey. So if you know you would want us to help you with any of this, amongst other services that we render, you can reach out to me via the details on my YouTube bio. Cheers and enjoy the rest of your trading day.